Hello, everyone. Happy Halloween. Just got back from trick-or-treating. It was really fun. Just took off all my makeup and everything. And this year I didn't go as a witch. It was really good. I decided to, you know, be nice and play nice. So this year I went as a bunny. A witch disguised as a bunny. There you go. Another episode of Coffee with Kelly. And today we're going to talk about thoughts and how thoughts are energy and how you need to make those thoughts good ones because you're probably draining your energy using all those negative thoughts that come into your mind. So just think about it for a minute. Thoughts are energy. How does that work? When our minds connect the synapses in our brains to create the thought that we're thinking about, energy is exerted. And then more energy is exerted when you bring that thought into word or into action. So now think about this for a minute. You use more energy creating a negative thought than a positive one. And you also use, more facial muscles to frown than to smile. So then the worry comes, and then the stress, and then how am I going to do this, and blah, 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 and, negative Nelly syndrome. And it ultimately comes down to that you're draining your own battery doing that. And you manifest into the universe what you put out. So if you are putting out that you can't get ahead in life and your thoughts are always like, oh God, this is going to happen again, or I don't know what to do, I'm going to give you some tools that can help you adjust that. And so you can have positive thoughts that you can project into the universe, and you're going to attract that because what we project, the universe is thinking that's what we want. And we want to put into the universe positivity because that's what we're going to get back. You'll get abundance back. Abundance not only physically not being drained, but you're going to get abundance because worlds open up to you. You'll get worlds through friendships and new opportunities and new ways of just thinking about things, more energy. It's fantastic. So, when you are thinking negativity, like I was telling, that thoughts are energy. When you're thinking something negative, like, oh my goodness, I'm sick. Let's use this as an example. When you are sick, everybody gets sick. But the thing is, you don't have to own your sickness. You don't want to say, this is my virus, or this is my cancer, or you don't have this. This was a dis-ease that was given to you at that time. But there are proven studies that the way that you think, the way that you feel, you are structurally healing your body, your own cells, by not owning that. Don't own your disease. Don't own your sickness. Don't own anything, crazy circumstances that happen to you, in your life. You need to, because what that does is, let me tell you what that does. When you are owning a sickness, for example, and you're saying, my X sickness is, and this and this and that, and you're not thinking positively, of course it sucks to be sick. I mean, God, who wants to be sick? I mean, I'm chicken soup all day when I'm sick. But there are some things that happen. I mean, there's some things in life that, would make you want to think negatively. But like I said, there's always a way to think positive, and there's a way to break down that process to make you feel a little better. Because once that pattern is formed of that constant drainage of energy, what's going to happen is you're going to make like a crystallization of your psychic energy. That prana, that life force that you have, you're crystallizing it. So you're essentially calcifying it. So if you're saying, my cancer or my lupus or my cold or my chickenpox, you're essentially giving the energy to that disease and not to yourself. And you're calcifying that within you so you can actually create that. People have created sickness and cancers and autoimmune diseases through the stress because of the way that their thought process is working. And when a pattern is in a place for that for such a long time like that, you start building up a psychic wall. So once you've been thinking like that for a while and you've got that psychic wall in front of you, and you can only look out and see, what's going to happen is that wall is going to block you from experiencing anything positive or anything new or any kind of change. You're psychically blocked now. You are crystallized. You have like a window between what your reality could be and what your reality is, and that's where you feel that you got to stay. But that's not the way it is. I mean, anytime you want to say, I want to get out of that reality, you could open the door and walk right through. It is an illusion that we are chained down to whatever we have, be it that you lost your job or that you got sick or you had a divorce or, one of your children are not doing well, whatever that may be. But when you do not want that to be what is made of you, what is calcified into you, you need to see it what it is, learn it to be a lesson, turn around and walk away. You need to take your physical body out of that psychic negativity and bring it back into the positive, back into the sunlight. And to break down these patterns, you really, really need to go out in nature too. I mean, when especially now, this is like really important because we're coming into the winter months and you're inside a lot. And even if it's not, the weather is, not nice enough to go outside, there are times when you do have to go outside. You have to go to work, you got to go to school, you got to go to the grocery store. I mean, most normal people go outside every day. Even if it's for 5 minutes, you're going to go outside. You breathe nature's air. You breathe in back so you can have cell regeneration. Oxygen is what they, when you get sick, what do? They put that oxygen mask over you. Why? Because your cells will regenerate themselves when they are encrusted with oxygen. You need to have that prana come in. And if you're in a stale environment where the windows are closed and you don't open the doors because it's wintertime, when you go outside, all you need is 5 minutes. That is like an automatic recharge from the universe. It's excellent. And that will help you. And there's some other things that can help you to help retain positive thought. To clear the atmosphere, you can use incense or smudging. Here I have one right here. You take sage, white sage, natural root, smells really good. People put it on chicken, wrap it up when it's fresh, and then hang it till it gets dry. And then you will burn this. And sage has proven properties and antibiotic properties within it that help clean the atmosphere. It will get rid of allergies and it'll get rid of bad vibes. It's not all voodoo heebie-jeebie stuff. This is natural medicine. This will really, really help you. And it clears up the atmosphere and it makes you feel great. And it's like a natural deionizer for, in nature. It's going to get rid of all of that. You can open your windows, let some fresh air in, even 5 minutes. Smudge your house, incense your house. If you can't stand the smell of the incense, open your windows, let some fresh air circulate. 5 minutes, even if you don't want to go outside because there's like a 20-foot snowstorm. I know I live in Chicago and it happens a lot. Open your windows a little bit, get some fresh air in, let the stale go out. You can light candles, the same thing. Candles always bring a positive, relaxing atmosphere to you. They create, when you look at a candle, you don't look at a candle and go, oh, that candle makes me mad. You look at that candle and you're like, oh my, I want to fill up the bathtub and Calgon take me away. Put some Epsom salt in the tub, light some candles, get in there. If you really want to relax, put a little lavender. You can put a little chamomile. If you're really beat up from work because you're, using your muscles all day, you can put a little eucalyptus, a little menthol in your bath water, and it's great. And you'll come out and your thoughts are going to be regenerated, because water also regenerates your thought process. It's a cleansing. You're cleansing yourself. You're immersing yourself in water. Fire cleanses, water cleanses. So those are things that you can do. There's also, you're going to come encounters in life, like I was talking about in my past video, where you come in with people that are like negative Nellies, and they'll sit there and they'll complain about everything that's going on, and their dog died and all that kind of stuff. And you want to, be supportive and everything of that, but you also want to cut that connection when you walk away, because you don't want to take that with you. So when you're there and you don't want to be rude and you don't want to be like, oh God, she's going to complain again, I'm walking away. You can imagine yourself surrounded in a white light of protection. You just make like a white bubble, imagine yourself in a white bubble, and you're protected, and none of that negativity is going to come to you. It's just going to be like boing, boing, boing. It's going to bounce right off. It's awesome, and it works. It really, really, really works, because you are mentally reprogramming your brain to think that, okay? You're thinking, okay, I'm not going to let it affect you, and guess what? It doesn't, because you really are thinking that. So you can do those things. You change your activity patterns. Don't do the same routine every day. The mundane gets really stale. It gets you into an energy drainage, and you're in that vicious cycle where you're just like, you don't even want to get up, because it's like really sucks to do the same thing all the time and you're not having any fun. You don't, even if you can't go and do something that you really, really like, you can change the way you do your daily tasks. Don't do the same thing all the time, because when you change the way you're doing things in your daily routine, you are exciting your senses. They're like, oh wait, this is not what I'm supposed to do, but we're doing it anyway. Ooh, so what's going on? This is kind of cool. And then, that affects your nervous system, because that's getting your nervous system synapses going, oh God, we're not doing the same thing anymore, and we're not using the GPS. What are we doing? But it's awesome. So that affects your subconscious mind, and that's helping break down that old pattern that helps you, that you were thinking about, it really sucks for me to do the same routine every day, 40 weeks, blah, 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 blah. So what you're doing with that is you are exciting your subconscious mind, because it's thinking, whoa, we're not doing what we normally do. And, and it doesn't have to be something, it could be like, if you're going to do an errand, instead of taking the car, walk there. And your body's like, whoa, we got feet and they actually work. And it's great, and then when you're in nature, you're going to breathe in all that air, and you're going to get your cells rejuvenated, and you're going to have a little time in nature, and, you get that circulation going. That circulation gets to your brain starts throwing out the old garbage from your ears. It starts, your ears start to smoke in, and you can do that. You can do your white light of protection when you encounter situations that make you feel, like you're going to be taking that away. And make sure when you do walk away, you cut the cords. You got double protection. You just cut that connection from that person and go along your way as you're happy yourself. Smudge your house, do a little incense, open the windows. You're going to change that thought process, because negative attracts more negative. And negativity uses more energy, and with all that worry, then comes the stress, and then you're like, how am I going to do this? So then you can't even sleep, so then comes the insomnia. you're just like using all your energy reserves until it's zero. It's like running a car on gasoline and there's there's no gas in the tank. You can't do it. You'll just feel totally drained. You have to kind of change the way that you think about that, because there is a lot of energy used in that thought process. I mean, who doesn't have those nights when you're worried that you can't pay for something, or you have a kid that's sick, or you're worrying about what your problems might be, and you can't sleep? And then you finally get to sleep like 5 o'clock in the morning, then bing, the alarm rings. You got to get up and go to work or go to school or do your daily routine, and you haven't slept, and your energy is zero. And what does that do? It makes you sick. It makes you drained. It makes you to where you're not going to be able to function properly. So if we change the way that we think about things, because everybody's going to have problems, we all have them. But when you are positive and you are putting positivity out into the universe, that thought energy process uses less energy. And let me tell you, when you're using less energy with your thoughts, because you're thinking positive and always looking for the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel and the rainbow, what's going to happen is you're going to have a whole bunch of energy left over, so you could do things that you like dancing. So, thoughts are energy. So try to make them good ones. So this week, since it's Halloween, I'm going to do these really cool cards. They are goddess cards. You see, they got the goddess circle with the 2 moons. They are called Wisdom in the House of the Night. So they're kind of fun. They got really pretty pictures and all that good stuff on there. So I'm going to shuffle up and we'll do the reading for the week and see what we get. So here we go. We got our first card. Okay. Oops, that one didn't want to come out. Sometimes they come out, sometimes they don't, and this is really pretty. This has got like pretty shiny silver on the outside. Sparkles. Good for the night. Okay, this one wants to come out for the middle of the week. And let's see what we got. Whoa, weekend. Boom! Weekend came out. All right, so here we go. Now, for the beginning of the week, we have vision. See that? Vision. That's the goddess Aphrodite. Vision. So vision is that you have a great vision for the future. Your thoughts are about the future. You know what you want to do. But when you get this card, this is a card that tells you about a vision and something that you have, in regards to what you want to think about. And usually with this card, you want to pick another card from the deck so you can have clarity. So you can have like a confirmation of which way this card is kind of telling you where you want to go. So we're starting out the beginning of the week with vision. And no matter what you lose in life, there's always something better that's going to replace it. And I'm not talking about human being wise. I am talking about, and it also could be human being wise if you think about it. I'm talking about even when a loss feels so devastating, you still have so much to gain. So when you get this card, we want to pick a clarity card that kind of tells us where we are going, because you have a kind of vision what you want to do. We just want to see which way we should go. So let's go ahead and pick another card to get some clarity for that. Okay. Whoop, and it flew right out. Look at that. And it is movement. You see that? Movement. So whatever your vision is in the beginning of the week of which way you want to go, well, you're moving. This is a time of change, movement. This is like a wonderful surprise. This is a card where, like you're thinking that something's not going to happen. All of a sudden, boom, surprise, here it is. And you were like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. So this is kind of like clarity to your answers of the visions that you're having. Like the visions, not as in psychic visions, like you're sitting there going, oh, I can read the crystal ball. No, this is your thoughts. These are what you are processing in your mind, and you want to know which way to go. Well, it's telling you, the time has come, and it's time of change, and it's time of movement, and you have a wonderful surprise coming, and there's clarity to your answers, and things that you would think that you would never get suddenly just like show up at your doorstep. You move closer to something that you thought was once out of reach. When you see a horse in any cards, that usually means that there's a trip. That means that you are going somewhere. So you can, physically have a trip. You can be on an airplane going somewhere, or it could just mean that you have a new direction in life. And it's like a change of scenery, and the change is possible if you make the move. So that's the thing. If you have these thoughts about what you want to do with Aphrodite, the cards are telling you clearly that you should go ahead and do that. That's your movement. So that's for the beginning of the week, which is awesome. So we're moving somewhere. We're getting it on. For the middle of the week, we have the High Priestess of Air. The High Priestess of Air. Now, the High Priestess of Air, she is, look at how pretty she is. She's sparkly and got feathers on her. I got feathers too. And she's got her little goddess moon. And the High Priestess of Air, she's the goddess of rational thought, which is funny because that's what we were talking about. Thoughts are energy. So she is the one who will tell you, all right, now you've got your vision and you're moving along in the vision. Now with the High Priestess, she's the one who uses the logical thought. Okay, now that we're moving ahead, now we have to logically think, we have to reason, we have to use our mind and our thoughts to consider what the next move is going to be, and it's calculated decisions. So it's now is the time for you to think before you act, because you're actually moving along your path. You just need to calculate it logically. You have to use your mind, but also use your imagination, because sometimes things that you think come one way come another. So think out of the box. And use your ability to communicate and enhance your conversations with reasonable, logic. So that's what she is, the goddess of reasonable thought. She the air sign is the sign of thought, so our higher self. So it could tell you, talk to your higher self. See what your higher self can logically and reasonably do with the movement that's going on, and that's where you're going from there. So, what do we get for our weekend? The weekend, our first weekend in November, and it's going to be chilly. So, we get love. I love love. Love, I don't know. I get love all the time, because when you send out that positivity, that's what you get back. And when I do my readings, and people always say, oh, how do you get those same cards? Because that's what I try to project in the universe, and that's what you get back. So this is love. Love is calling you to open your heart. It's telling you, open your heart and receive the blessings that are coming to you. Love is a powerful sign. It is the only sign that can destroy evil. It is the only thing, because through love are we able to reach our higher self. We're able to walk through that gateway, because love is the most powerful force in the world. The most powerful force. Love in all forms is in your life right now. It might not just be love of, physical love or love of people. It could be love of an art, of your job. It could be just a love of life in general. So there's responsibility with love, okay? This is the rule of love. You see, when you love, you have to give of yourself freely. You cannot ask for anything in return, okay? You have to give of yourself freely, without conditions, and love. because your heart is open. Yes, sometimes you suffer, you get a broken heart, and yeah, but the thing is that when you give love unconditionally, you're only not just loving whatever you're putting your love into. You are loving and respecting your own temple yourself, and you're respecting God because He made us of love and He made us of light. So if you suffer from a broken heart, that just means that there's a greater love coming your way. No matter where you are right now in life, love has come to guide you into an important experience. So trust in love. Love won't let you down. Okay, my darlings, that is it for the week. I am sending everybody tons and tons and tons of white light of protection, tons and tons and tons of positive energy thoughts, and sending out blessings. I hope you have an excellent week, and don't forget to always hold the light. Bye-bye.